Hey guys, what is up? Today we are going to be fixing these scratches on this wood door and trim right here that the dogs did. So stick around if you want to see how we fix it. Alright guys, we're using Durham's water putty, some tape, some sanding pads, or a sanding sponge would be better. I didn't have one. A brush and spatulas. Alright, we're going to start by taping off anything we don't want to get dirty. I'm taping off the doorknob, and I'm also going to remove the striker plate. Alright guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you like the video, if you want to see more guys. All I'm going to do is sand this a little bit and scrape it with the spatula just to get any loose pieces of the wood off, and try to get a flat, even surface so I don't get any little pieces after. Alright guys, we're using Durham's water putty, and this stuff is really cheap. I think I got it for like under $3 at Home Depot. But it's what we use for door repairs like this, any wood trim repairs. It's pretty much like hot mud. You mix it and you have a couple minutes before it starts to get hard to use it and set it. So we are going to mix this on just a scrap piece of cardboard, and then we'll apply it here with probably gonna use this 4-inch spatula. Be the perfect size for that, and that as well. And so we're gonna mix it up. Try to get it a little bit thick so it doesn't drip. Alright guys, so you can mix this in a plastic container or in an actual drywall mud tray. But I just mixed it on this cardboard because I just wanted to throw it away after I was done. I just started by slowly adding little bits of water and mixing the little pile that I had until I got a little bit of a thicker paste-like, not drippy. I wanted it to be able to stick, and since we had some of the scratches that were a little deeper, I did need for it to not drip. Alright guys, we got it mixed, so it's a little bit thick, and we're just gonna apply it. Alright guys, so when you're applying this, the smoother you can leave it, the less sanding that you'll have to do. It doesn't have to be perfect because you can sand it, but it is harder to sand than drywall. So the smoother you can leave this, the easier it'll be for you when it comes time to sand it. Alright guys, so on here, this, to get the corner, I'm going to purposely leave it long, kind of overhanging. So we're going to go on the small side and go up. So we're trying to shape the 90-degree with the spatula here. Corner. It's not going to be perfect, but see, you got a bit of a gap. Once we sand it, that will be closer to the edge that originally was there. All right guys, so we put the water putty on there and we're just gonna let it dry. I'm gonna see if it dries in under an hour, but if not, then I'll come back tomorrow morning and sand it and paint it. Guys, and on these curves on the door, I'm just going through with my finger and filling, kind of like caulking. Some of these aren't as deep as others. All right guys, we are back over here. Everything's dry and we're gonna sand it. I don't have a orbital sander, that's what I would use, but the guys are using them. And normally I would bring a little piece of wood to wrap this around it, but I couldn't find one either. All right, so we're going to sand. I think I'm gonna start with a 120 and then switch over to like, or actually I'm gonna start with an 80, then a 120, and then I'll go up to a 220. Bit thick, so I'm gonna take just my pocket knife and try to scrape it. Alright guys, here's after going over with the 80 grit and then the 120. You guys can see right here, we went down, we tried to do the corner shape, and again it's not perfect, but it's pretty close and it looks a lot better. Try to give it a little more right now when I start with the 220. Alright, and now we're gonna jump into the 220. Alright guys, we're gonna vacuum all this dust on here. Alright guys, so right here in these little ridges, there's still a couple little areas that we're gonna go back and sand a little bit more with the 120, but it's almost completely ready. I'm just gonna run this damp cloth over it just to get rid of any last dust. Before we start painting. Let's go. Alright guys, again, don't forget, if you like the video, please hit that like down below. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future, and let me know what you think in the comments. Alright, and after 2 coats of the semi-gloss paint, this is what it looks like right here. This is our finished product. As you can see, you can't see the scratches anymore, and it looks a lot better than it did before we started.